that we've had. Got some fumbles out of the way, so that was good. Yeah, those are just incredibly valuable reps that usually work out those kinks in the first couple weeks of the regular season, and we've worked them out last 2 weeks.
Would you say it's fair to say this is as prepared as you've ever felt heading into a season?
We still got 2 weeks, so not yet, because we still have 2 weeks of prep left. Ask me again in 2 weeks, and maybe I'll have an answer for you.
Locked in. Okay, Joe Burrow, I see you repping that aloe. Stephen A., I'm coming to you on this. Do you have a problem with Zach Taylor leaving Burrow in for that amount of time?
I have a problem with Zach Taylor, period. I have a problem with him coaching in the offseason. I have a problem with him never having his team prepared to play in September. I certainly have a problem with him leaving Joe Burrow in that game for as long as he did. There was a couple of plays where he's running for his life. I don't know why he didn't just go down. It's a preseason game. Why are you taking those hits unnecessarily? You've been in the league long enough, Joe Burrow, to know better than that. Still in all, you're Zach Taylor. You get on the field and you walk his ass off the field if you have to. I mean, you got to be kidding me. It makes no sense whatsoever. And when you consider how god-awful their defense is, I mean awful, just bad. When you consider that, it just elevates the necessity of Joe Burrow being at peak level to perform, which means part of it is protecting him and making sure absolutely positively nothing happens to endanger him at all unnecessarily, because as he goes, this franchise goes. They have no defense whatsoever. They are straight garbage. A matter of fact, I mean, I'm just thinking about the flights back to Cincinnati. Is it JetBlue? Is it Delta? Is it American? Is it United? What airlines takes them back? Because I wouldn't put them on a chartered flight. I'd make them fly commercial, wait in line and everything. You understand? Get their own damn Chick-fil-A or something. They don't deserve a free ride home. They are horrible. That defense is straight trash, okay? Which means that everything is going to come down to Joe Burrow with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. And Jamar Chase and T. Higgins can't do a damn thing for you if Joe Burrow ain't throwing them the football. So he is the man. He is the franchise, okay? Of course I have a problem with them leaving him in the game. It was stupid, but this is something that the Bengals are known to do. Could do stupid things, ill-prepared things, before the season and the first 2 weeks of the season before they remember that they're in the National Football League and they got to play some football.
CeCe?
Yeah, I had a problem with it too, Stephen A. And here's the thing. I'm a proponent of players playing in the preseason to sharpen it up and get ready for the regular season. But under no uncertain terms am I going to allow my starting quarterback, the face of the franchise, to go out there without having his top 2 receivers on the field with him. There's no world that exists where it makes sense for Joe Burrow to go out there with less than everybody on that first unit out there playing with them. And that's the part that didn't make sense to me when you saw the second and third series that Joe Burrow was a part of. I get it. The player wants to make sure that he's ready to go. Everybody in Cincinnati has been hearing the noise. T. Higgins said last week that they're tired of the narrative about the slow starts. I would argue that it's not a narrative. It's just their reality. 1-11 in the first 2 games in the 6 years of Zach Taylor being a head coach. That is who you are as a team. In order to change that, you want to make sure that you're ready to go from the opening whistle in week 1. But I don't think you do that at the expense of risking the health and welfare of your starting quarterback. And that's exactly what happened in last night's game.
Damian, where are you on this?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Like, literally, there's no reason for Joe Burrow to even be out there past the first series. After that first series when they scored a touchdown, that's all you need to see, because when you talk about the Cincinnati Bengals, it's not about the offense. We know that this team will be able to score points. Hell, we saw the Cincinnati Bengals score 30 or more points last year and had a losing record. And so for me, it's about the defense. How well can you develop those young guys on the defensive side of the football? Those guys need to be playing a lot more snaps out there. And to see Joe Burrow, and also we can't absolve Joe Burrow from last night as well, because we saw Joe Burrow take a couple sacks, unnecessary sacks, running around back there like he's a rookie. Like, he should know better. But ultimately, Zach Taylor, after that first series, should say, you know what? I've seen what I need to see. We know this offense is going to be prolific. We know this offense is going to score points. It's the defense that needs a lot more work, especially with those young players on that side of the ball.
Canty, I want to know this.
Let's understand something here. Let's understand something here, Holy Molly, real quick, because, this is a debate show, and you usually don't start off a show agreeing on the point. So, America, understand, we're throwing a curveball here. You know why? Because certain things are inescapable. The level of ineptitude, I mean, this is serious. This is serious. The level of ineptitude going on with the Cincinnati Bengals is really alarming. How's the defense that damn bad? I mean, they are awful. How you got Joe Burrow out there when he's clearly your franchise? Clearly an awful decision. Why is it that you're 1-11 over the first 12 games, meaning the first 2 games of 6 consecutive seasons? People think I'm joking when I say I need an investigation. Listen, when you're recruiting an athlete, when you're getting ready to draft him, Canty, Woody, when you're getting ready to draft somebody, you're trying to tell me these organizations don't do their research? They don't find out not just about your work habits, your playing habits, but they also find out about your lifestyle habits. They're spying on you. They're figuring out every damn thing. They all up in your business. Why? Because they're making an investment. Well, what the hell are the Cincinnati Bengals doing with Zach Taylor and his coaching staff? What are you doing? March, April, May, June, July, August, and the first 2 weeks of September. What the hell is going on that one horrible decision after another is being made by this franchise? You got one of the best quarterbacks in the game who could have easily been an MVP last year, okay, if his defenses showed up and act like they had a damn pulse. And now you didn't. Trey Hendrickson's leverage is growing up every day. We'll get into that. But in the end, it's just bad. And that's why we started off the show this way, because we can't believe how bad, even with the talent that they have and the money that they spent, we can't believe the dropped balls, figuratively speaking, that has taken place within this franchise. They are awful. Awful. They just got Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, so they lucky. But they're awful.
Well, I don't know that they're lucky, Stephen A. And here's where the debate is going to kick in, because I don't believe in 2025 you can build a team like this and have success. They're at the top of the league in terms of percentage of cap spent on the offensive side of the ball. That means your quarterback, every time he crosses midfield, has got to get points. Every time he's getting to the red zone, he has to score a touchdown. And it's hard to do that week in, week out. It's hard to do that when you don't have quality depth. It's hard to do that when your defense can't get you field position or extra possessions. So the reality of how the Cincinnati Bengals have engaged in roster construction ends up being the ceiling for Joe Burrow in terms of what his team is ultimately able to get done in terms of getting to the tournament and potentially winning a championship. Everybody wants to go back to 4 years ago when Burrow beat Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship game to go to a Super Bowl. His defense was a hell of a lot better than it is now. And when you do what the Cincinnati Bengals have done in terms of the allocation of cap dollars and having it so one-sided, that means you have to hit on every single draft pick on the defensive side of the ball. And the Cincinnati Bengals haven't done it. You got to put an APB out on Myles Murphy, their first-round draft pick from 2023. Can't see him.
Yep.
Like, that's the reality of the Cincinnati Bengals. Their front office has not hit on all of the defensive draft picks that they've invested, and they've put a whole lot of money on the offensive side of the ball. So in today's NFL, it's hard to win when you have no margin for error for your quarterback.
What do you go ahead?
Listen, CC, here, I will disagree with you on this. We know of another organization that has a lot of money on one side of the ball. That's Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, you look at last year with the Philadelphia Eagles, they got a lot of guys on that side, on the offensive side of the ball that's gotten paid. And but here's the difference. Those defensive guys on the Philadelphia Eagles have developed. And so for me, the issue with the Cincinnati Bengals is a lack of development with their defensive draft choices. That's the difference between how the Philadelphia Eagles have operated and ultimately have won a Super Bowl and the Cincinnati Bengals, who are lopsided on one side of the ball, and their defense is just utterly putrid right now.
All right, let me push this forward. And Chris, here's what I want to know from you. What team needs their Holden star more? Is it the Commanders and Terry McLaurin, or is it the Bengals and Trey Hendrickson?